Hi friends, hi friends. Hello, hello. We're gonna get started with a dip manicure using some Secret Sisters. Let me put this music down for a minute. Using some Secret Sisters dip powders and her liquids, and we're gonna be doing an ombre on these jelly tips that I put on last night. My name is Mary Rosie. If you're new to my channel or my TikTok, hey everybody, you can reach me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube under the same name, Mary Rosie Dips. And I'm a brand ambassador for Secret Sisters. Today, we're going to be using these two amazing colors. First one is called Jazz. Look at that. So we're doing dip powder, and dip powder you can do at home. Dip powder they do in the salon, whichever. But I do it at home. I am not a licensed nail tech. I'm self-taught. And we're going to be just showing you guys how I do my dip powder. And we're going to do an ombre with this color, Jazz 6, which is available now on secretsisters.shop. And then Watermelon Sugar, which is this pretty neutral shimmery color that we'll be using to do an ombre. And ombres are my jam, so we'll just use these two together. And then I like to use cupcake liners so that we can ombre easier. And you can do an ombre over short nails, over long nails, whichever. I'm going to be doing it over long nails. It's easier for me to do my left hand because I am right-handed, so it's just quicker. And I got all my stuff ready. We got our clear dip powder that we'll use to encapsulate. This is a 4-ounce jar from Secret Sisters. Like I said, watermelon sugar, which will be the top part of the ombre, Jazz number 6. And then dip liquid base, activate, and the top shine from Secret Sisters. And secretsisters.shop you can get, oh, and you know what we'll do? I'm also going to use peel base because peel base allows me to just peel off my manicure quickly and easily. And I am going to wipe my nails with alcohol with a lint-free wipe. Hello everybody, welcome. And I just like to use a lint-free wipe. It just helps the peel base dry a little bit quicker, I think, once it's actually on. And let's get going. So Pop It Peel Base from Secret Sisters goes on white. Hey Tiffany. Tiffany's the owner of Secret Sisters Dip Powder, and she'll help answer any questions if you guys have any. So Pop It Peel Base is a peel base that goes on white and dries clear, kind of does not dry shiny. It dries kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Matte looking, and you'll be able to see it right now. I personally put it on all the nail. This is just my way of applying peel base. Everybody applies it differently. It just depends on how fast you want it to come off. As far as your manicure, I do not typically soak in acetone, and I haven't in years. I just have been using peel base for, gosh, almost 3 years now to do my manicures, for several reasons. One, I have lots and lots and lots of colors. 2, I'm a brand ambassador for several different companies, so it's just easier to be able to do my manicure, take my pictures, do my content videos and all that, and then just pop it right off if I want to. I can not go all the way up to the edge on my nails, and this would probably last me a week if I wanted it to. But I like to apply it on the entire nail, and then we'll let that dry. And I just like one even layer. I don't feel like it's too thick or too thin, but some people say that I do apply a thicker layer, but it's possibly because I just want it to come off faster when I'm done. Maybe, I'm not sure. It doesn't take very long to dry. I've never had to make my peel base like go in front of a fan to get it to dry, in front of a heater, none of that. Usually I'll just put it on the beginning of my live. I do lives on Secret Sisters Facebook group. If you're new to that, go ahead and request to join and we can let you in. I do lives on there on mostly Wednesday nights, and I do a dip powder manicure live, and people just ask questions and all that, tips and tricks. And then on Thursday nights, mostly every Thursday, Tiffany, the owner and creator of the Secret Sisters brand, will go on and do a manicure, and then every other week she does a live swatching of the new release that's coming that week, whichever week it is. So coffee, sorry. So we kind of alternate back and forth on every other week of actually releasing product. And then there's typically a live every week where you can see and ask questions, and then you can do your own dip powder at home. All right, let's see. I'm just going to let this dry for another second. You see it's no longer white, except this last one is, and this part right here is. And these are dry because they're not white, but they are matte. It was shiny because I had a shiny top coat on them, or gel top coat. Oops, let me just turn off my other phone real quick. I'm trying to figure out how I can see, if anybody knows, how I can see comments like from a different phone. Because if I'm live, I want my phone to be a little bit higher, but I don't know how it lets me see myself live. Does that make sense? I don't know how to do that, and I feel like a weirdo. Like, if I search my name, it has my stuff, but oh, that's it. Now I can see comments. That'll be easy. Oh, thanks, guys. We figured it out. There, now I can see actual comments somewhere other than trying to reach up to my phone, because I thought that was going to be weird. I think last time I couldn't figure it out, but it's okay. I just put my phone in a different spot. All right, so let's get started. We are dry. This one's a little bit wet still, but by the time, oh, and that one's dry. By the time we get over there, we'll be good to go. All right, so we're going to do our base. And because I'm doing an ombre, I'm actually going to give us a second more time to work, I'm actually going to do a full layer of dip base on the whole nail. If you're unfamiliar with peel base, it actually causes your dip liquid to dry just a smidge faster than it normally would, which means it gives you less time to work, which has its advantages and disadvantages. It does not bother me when I'm doing solid colors. Actually, it doesn't bother me at all. But when I'm doing a design with dip, such as an ombre, or working with chunky glitters, I want to have my normal amount of time to work with it. So I want to have, I don't know, 10 to 15 to 30 seconds to be able to work with whatever I'm working with, especially chunky glitters. So I'm going to do a layer of dip base. And this basically dries very quickly. And then the next time I do a layer, it will dry at its normal speed. All right, so this is gonna dry, and it's already dry over here. Oh, let me put this back. So this is Jazz number 6. Oh, it's so pretty. And then we have a fluffy brush. make sure you guys are tapping on the screen. Let's see if we can get this to show up on people's For You page. Actually, I'm gonna use my bigger, yeah, this is higher, okay. So what we'll do is, I think I'm gonna do 1 layer of watermelon sugar. Now, for those who don't know about watermelon sugar, it is a neutral and it's a glow. So this glows in the dark. And I don't know that my room's gonna be dark enough to really show off the glow, maybe, I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna do 1 full layer of watermelon sugar as our base. Ooh, my nail's long. And these colors are available on secretsisters.shop, including the liquids and clear. I'm gonna dip twice just to make sure we absorb a good amount. And so really this first layer, I was going to do an ombre and then I changed my mind, but this first layer, you don't necessarily need to have done the first layer of dip liquid that I did if your first layer is just gonna be solid. Does that make sense? But if you don't do that and your first layer comes out streaky, it's just because of the peel base. Multiple brands do this. It's not just a consistency of this brand. It's just the formula in the peel base makes it dry faster. That's all. So you just have to ensure that you do an extra layer. Because if not, it comes out streaky or patchy on your first layer, of course. And nobody's really looking at your first layer. Unless your first layer is just a chunky. And I'm the kind of person that does 1 layer on a chunky dip powder. That's it. And then I move on. So I want to have as much time as possible to work with that, which is why I do this with the base. Today's Easter. Happy Easter, I suppose. We don't really celebrate Easter like that, but my children are still sleeping. So for those that celebrate, happy Easter. And then just make sure you get around your cuticles while they are not dry. Before they dry, I should say. All right, so we're gonna give that 2 seconds, and then we're going to use a stiff brush. And I do like to use a more stiffer brush. Oops, sorry, my vacuum's going off over there. I feel like my vacuum seems to like to empty itself when I'm on lives. A little bit of coffee. Put my cup closer. All right, so for our second layer, what I'll do is I will ombre. Let's do it this way. We'll ombre with this and a small eyeshadow brush, kind of like a fluffy one. It's just a makeup brush from an old Ipsy bag, I think. And we'll ombre with that. And then I like to pour over, I'm going to start with this finger just because it's closer. I like to pour over the solid color. I don't, I used to, I should say, do a tap method on that as well, but I just don't do that anymore. I found I actually got better results doing it this way. So tap, tap, tap. Also, while you're watching this, tap, tap, tap on the screen and we'll get shown up on other people's FYP page. Tappity tap, and this is how I create an ombre. I'm tapping on the brush and moving my nail around. And I am going to press down on it just slightly to get those little flakies to show up. And then the next color, which is the solid or the neutral. And I'm just going to let it sit there for a second. I will not tap this onto there because I would get flakes. So you got to have a third something or on a napkin or whatever. And just let it fall on there. And unfortunately, that's going to be mixed with whatever two colors you're using. So it's not going to be usable anymore after, if that makes sense. So this has some flakies in there, which is why I won't use it. This color is gorgeous. And we're going to move on and do the next nail. Exactly the same. And my nails are longer, so I might have to go in twice to get base. And that's okay. Just a nice even layer. I do have to get a little more. Nice even layer. Pick up. Tappity tap. Turn the nail kind of sideways. If your nails are shorter, this just as easy. Just kind of hold your nail at an angle. Keep tapping to, oops, got one fly away up there. It's okay. Keep tapping over it because it is soaking it up. You could do this. And these guys look like they're stuck pretty well. And now I'm just gonna pour that one over. Let it fall. And I'm gonna take my hand away from there. I don't wanna tap it on there. I wanna tap it somewhere else. Tap it somewhere else. And we're gonna press these down so we can make sure we get that flaky, because these are super gentle flakies that might not actually stick. They should. Typically they do stick, but they might not if they're not pressed down. Move that out of the way. Thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate y'all. And then we're gonna move right on to the next one. And I am doing the same design on all 4 nails, but it's quick, it's easy, it's beautiful. This dip powder is so flaky and amazing. And there's an entire collection of these jazz ones in different colors on the Secret Sisters website. It's called the Jazz Collection, and you can get it on its own or you can get it all together. 6 of them. There's purple, there's green, there's blue, there's a black one, orange, and this pink one. Look at that. These flakies are just amazing. And they ombre so easily. So this is what you would call a tap ombre. And I'm just touching these so that I can get it to make sure those guys stick, because the base is drying. There. And And I don't want to tap this into that one because some of these little flakies are falling off. They won't stick. And if you do that, it'll just be messing up your original solid over there. This is what we are looking like so far. Hello everybody, welcome. We're doing dip powder, ombre over my jelly tips that I've got on. And we're gonna do our pinky, same way, exact same thing. Get your dip base. Nice even application. And we're going to tap, tap, tap. You see, if you can see, I am twirling, kind of slowly turning my brush just so I can get things to fall off from all the sides. And my hand is just slightly moving, not necessarily moving my brush, I'm twirling my brush more than anything else. And this is still wet, so of course we're going in with watermelon sugar, which is a shimmery neutral. Oops, I clearly missed a little spot there. That's okay. And we're pressing down so that the flakies stick. And now I am running out of pour over, so I'm just going to put this one back in here so I can have enough to pour. And this guy, we still have more than enough to go. And the pour over, not pour over, the tap ombre is, every time I've done it, I have done it using a cupcake liner. I guess several years ago when I first started dipping my own nails, 4 years ago, I did not. And it's just, you don't get all the bigger pieces of glitter and things like that. So that's why I started pouring into a cupcake liner. It's just easier. And then the other one is just the solid getting poured over. That's easy to just pour it versus tapping it on. These nails are super long, so I gotta, there we go. Make sure I have it everywhere, make sure it's even, clean up the little bits. Tappity tap tap, move your hand, twirl the brush. Tappity tap, move your hand, twirl the brush. And we're moving that out of our way, putting this watermelon sugar. Clean her up. Oh my gosh. Y'all saw me almost spill it on the live. Jesus. Stories. I have stories. Pretty good at spilling. Oh, God. All right. So that's what we look like after one layer of each. I am going to move everything to the side because I'm going to brush this off in a second. And I'm using a soft brush. And these are nice and stuck. You see how they stay on? And that one's already dry anyway. Okay. Thanks for the follows. Hello. So this is one full layer of watermelon sugar, and then one tap ombre layer of Jazz number 6, and then a pour over layer of watermelon sugar. So I like the consistency that I have with watermelon sugar already. So I'm not going to put any more watermelon sugar in. Actually, I really like the way all of it looks in general. If you want, and this is only one layer of the pink. If you wanted to try to make it darker, try to get more, it would do the exact same thing again. I will not, because I like the way that it looks. So I'm going to put it away so that I don't spill this whole thing. And what I'm going to do now is encapsulate in clear dip powder. You want to make sure you encapsulate everything in clear dip powder. If you don't, then what'll happen is you'll buff right through these little flakies that we just put on there. And this is the one I was saying, this is why you don't want to just tap it off on top of the other one. This is basically trash, unfortunately. You don't want to mix. And this will also happen with your clear dip powders. You want to have a clear jar for coffee. A clear jar for solid and a clear jar for glitter. Let me show you some. I have one. So my small jar for glitter, it has a G in it. And if you look closely, there's actually little pieces of glitter in here. This is one that I use to dip right into when I have a clear glitter nail. And what we're going to do is we are actually going to, a little hair, shovel. There's little shovels available on the Secret Sisters website. And the shovels come if you purchase a 4-ounce clear dip powder. This is the best clear dip powder on the market that I have found. I've been dipping for 4 years, and Secret Sisters clear is it. She is based out of Indiana. Nothing comes from China. And so if you purchase a 4-ounce, either the 4-ounce collection of the different clears that glow, or just a 4-ounce one of the clears, you get this little shovel. And whenever we use it, we say, shovel that shiz. And so the shovel helps pour it over so your dip doesn't get contaminated. Okay. All right, and we're going to just apply base like normal. And like I said, my nails are kind of long, so I gotta make sure I get everything covered. I think this looks soft and dainty, just like this, which is why I didn't want to do another layer of the pink. But also I have jelly chips on, so I don't want my nails to be too thick. And I'm actually gonna tap this over here. If I tap it on here, I'll get glitter. So always tap things on the side when it's not a solid color. Thanks for the follows, friends. Appreciate ya. All right, so I'm going to apply. Nice even layer, making sure I cover everything because this is your encapsulation. You'll want to encapsulate solid, glitter, flakes, foils, all the things. Encapsulation equals protection. So we're gonna shovel that shiz. And this is where you'll ensure that you're getting a nice smooth layer to be able to have a nice smooth surface. It begins with application, and I just press down to make sure that all those little flakies are nice and flat underneath there, because if not, they're not hard, but I don't want to buff them off if they're kind of poking and sticking out of there. Same thing as with the glitter. Chunky glitter, exact same way. chunky glitter exact same way. You want to make sure you pat them down as it's drying on your initial application, and then thanks for the follows. And then we take our clear, tap it off here so we don't get any excess, and I need to clean up that little bit right here. You clean it off while it's wet. Comes right off. And press, press, press. I feel like my volume's on somewhere. Oh yeah. Sorry if there was a little echo. Okay. So we are now moving on to index fingers, same exact thing. We're applying a nice layer of base, liquid. Get close to your cuticles, try not to touch them. If you touch it, you have time to clean it off, but you want to try to be quick with it. So this right here, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds. Press down. There's a little spot right here I got to clean up because I got close. You want to do it before it gets dry, because then you're going to have to be cleaning it out of your cuticles with the file, and all that's going to do is hurt. Press down to make sure that we have good, flat, little flakies and glitters. We can pretend this is glitter also. I apply it the exact same way. I want to protect my flakies as much as I protect glitters. So, oops, am I in camera? Sorry. So I want to be above the comments so you can see. And this nail is my biggest one, so I do have to go back in to the bottle and get a couple times. There we go. Trying to get as close to the cuticle without touching it, if I can. And if it's a ton that you touched on the side of your nails, as in you flooded your cuticles, you can try to get that off before. Oh, like right here. If I had noticed that, I would get that off before I even put the clear, because you're gonna have to clean it up anyway. But clean up, and we'll clean this. That little glitter doesn't want to lay, or foil doesn't want to lay flat. Flaky, not foil. It is the Secret Sisters dip base. This right here. It's dip liquid base from the Secret Sisters brand. And so I am going to close it up because it's done. This is dip powder system that I'm using. So I'm using dip liquids with it. And so what I like to use is a stiff brush to remove clear excess. So there's your difference. This is what it looks like before you brush. If you use a stiff brush, oh, here we go. I'm just gonna clip off. Oh, did it fall off? Yeah, that little piece. So this is what, there's one little piece right here. I'm not gonna take it off because you'll see that guy will literally file off as soon as I put the file to it. They're not hard, they're not glitters, but they're flat already. We've encapsulated with clear. They're flat, just like if it was glitters. And now we are putting activator. This is what will harden the dip powder. The gel method with dip powders, Coupe de Ville, is that what you mean? If so, yes, I do that as well. Or do you just mean applying gel polish in general? Oh, yes. Yep, I do that as well. I think I have a couple of videos on my YouTube if you want to go follow. On the gel method as well. My YouTube is Mary Rosie Dips also. Or there might be some reels on my TikTok, on my Instagram as well, with the gel method, I think. Yeah, no problem. So it's 2 layers of dip powder, 2 layers of activator is recommended, typically for 3 to 4 layers of dip powder. So here's my second layer. There's not like a wait time in between. You just go in and apply this. Oh, shoot. Stories. I have stories of spilling things. Don't pay attention to that. You didn't see it. Well, I guess you can swear on TikTok, but I held it together. Because if this happened on Facebook, I wouldn't be swearing in my Facebook Live. Cover it up. It didn't happen. All right. So this is what we look like after activating. And what'll happen is you want to hear for the clickety clack. That's how you know they're ready to be filed and buffed. Let's see. So I like, my preferred is, ouch, a 150 grit file. And I'm actually going to be having some coming on my website. Don't have them just yet, but these buffers, 100, 180, are available on my website, maryrosiedips.com. So you'll shape again, because your nails do lose their shape as you add enhancements to it. So you want to make sure you get them back to the shape that you wanted them to. And because everything is pretty smooth already, I mean, there's not much filing that I have to do. Just cleaning up the cuticles and the sides is my typical. I don't usually spend more than 10 minutes buffing and filing because I spent my time on the application. That's what I recommend anytime I teach anyone or I do a live. If you spend your time on application, you will not have to worry about it when you have to go into buff and file. It'll just be easier. So again, these tips are available on secretsisters.shop, and the liquids are also available secretsisters.shop. If you use code MERY10, MERY, you can get 10% discount. And all I'm doing is reshaping. Shouldn't be too much, but I do have peel base on, so the peel base will, oh, I thought I popped it off. Has popped off in the past because I do a full nail of peel base, so my whole nails popped off before because I filed on the side too hard or something. Just shaping up and cleaning up the cuticles. Yes, the peel base, I don't have to soak in acetone. I literally can pop off the dip that I just did here as soon as I'm done, except I'll have to take my pictures and do a little video for my post on Instagram. But yes, they pop off depending on how you applied it. You can get them to pop off immediately, which is what I do most of the time. I've been able to get them to, I mean, gosh, one time I did my nails, and I'm a nurse, so I worked like 4 days in a row, and I had all of them on still. They didn't come off. I didn't try to do anything different, and I washed my hand a zillion times a day, and hand sanitizer and gloves. So yeah. The brand that I'm using right now is the Secret Sisters one. Excellent pop off with this. It's called Pop It Peel Base on the website. Secret Sisters start shop. And you can use code Mary10 for a discount. You're welcome. And I'm just going in and smoothing. Number one, I'm smoothing my file marks, but number two, I'm smoothing the dip. As long as you have a nice smooth surface, you will get a nice shine on your top coat. Thanks for sharing. And these flakies are going to pop when we put that top coat on. It's going to be super pretty. And remember, we put a layer of dip, the clear dip powder on top, which is why you notice that I'm not buffing away any of these little flakies. We put that dip layer on there to protect them. So if this was chunky glitter, it would be the exact same thing. We're protecting it, which is why you always want to have a layer of dip clear on top of your design. It will protect them, I promise. Now, you got to remember, it's one layer, so you can't go in and buff and file your life away because you're going to hit the glitter after a little bit. You'll get a feel for how much. But the more you practice, the more you'll know how much you can actually buff and file. And smooth things out. There's a little spot right here. And I'm doing this so I can feel if there's any little bits that feel not 100% smooth. And if there is, I can get them as flat as possible. Again, I'm going in with my stiff brush, because my stiff brush is going to remove any extra dip powder that's there anywhere, basically. All that extra dip powder will just make your top coat not be shiny. And then you'll want to take a napkin. Well, let me get a bigger one. A napkin. And we will activate once again. Activator hardens your dip powder, and activator is what also makes your top coat dry. So you need it twice if you're going to be doing dip top coat. If you're doing gel top coat, you don't need activator right now. And I'm going to be doing the dip top coat that comes with this system. And then I'm going to swipe with alcohol. Just yeah, peel base is amazing. Okay. Give that 2 seconds, and then we've got our, maybe, here it is, top coat. And I'm using the Secret Sisters top coat. And I'll show y'all how I apply it. Coffee's great. And we got 1, 2 quick swipes, and I clean it off. Anywhere from 2 to 3 swipes on the nail is what I do. Oh no, there's a little hair right there. What the heck? Ah! There it is. And I get that little hair on there. Now he's gonna be dry in there. Oh well, okay. I got most of it off, but sorry. So 2 to 3 quick swipes on the nail, trying not to go purposely over the same place twice. Overlapping like that is okay. One, 2, 3, wipe it on a napkin. That ensures there is no activator. 1, 2, 3. We keep our bottle nice and clean by not going over the same place twice. And I don't wait in between, I just go right in with the second coat. Same exact way. Shit. Oops, shit. I hate doing my pinky. I always can't see one side of my pinky, so there's that. 2, 3, clean it off on the napkin. 1, 2, 3, 4, clean it off on the napkin. Napkin. 2 layers of dip powder. Thank you. This pink is it for me. It's doing it for me for Easter, even though I don't celebrate Easter anymore because I just don't go to church, but love it. So we're letting that dry for a couple of minutes. It's usually about 2 minutes, but in the meantime, I'm turned around looking behind me for some oil. Give me 1 second. We're going to use some Candy Skincare Whipped Oil. And we will moisturize these hands here in a minute. Once this is dry, so you see the shine. The shine is always the same if you apply the dip top coat the same way every time. That's the consistency that I've had for a couple of years and has not changed. I don't have issues with top coat if I apply it the same way every time. And that one's almost dry. Moisturize your hands. It will help in the long run, I promise. Okay. Oh, moisturized hands are the best. So this is what our manicure looks like. Let me just get this out of here. I'm just taking the whipped oil off the nails because I need to take my pictures. This is what it looks like. So I used watermelon sugar, and that's this little solid color. And then, where'd it go? Jazz number 6 is the pink. And we encapsulate it in clear. And then I used the Secret Sisters liquids, base, activate, top shine, and actually the peel base as well. And then I used Candy Skincare Cotton Candy. This is available on their website. Whipped oil. Actually, I don't know if they have any right now. Sorry. But that's it. This is beautiful Mani. Easy peasy. Dip powders to use. Thanks for the follow, Lydia. These are the dip powders that I used. You can get these and do your own dip powder manicure at home. All right, I'm gonna take pictures of this, and I'll probably download this and put it on my YouTube. But my pictures will go up on my Instagram. If you're not already following me, please do. My Instagram is the same. My YouTube is the same, Mary Rosie Dips. And Secret Sisters has a Facebook page that we do lives on a couple of times a week. And the website is secretsisters.shop. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for... I did activate twice, Make Me Laugh. Excuse me. Excuse me. So you do 2 layers of activator. When you're getting ready to buff and file, you'll do 2 layers of activator, And then once it gets hard after a minute or so, then you can buff and file. And then once you've buff filed, taken off the excess powder with a stiff brush, you'll go in and do 1 layer of activator. And then I swiped with alcohol, and then 2 layers of the dip top coat. That's how you get your pretty shine. You're welcome. You're welcome. So this is what we just did. And like I said, I'll download this and put this on my YouTube. I have music on, so I'll probably have to do a voiceover, so it might be a couple days. But all right, everyone, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you guys later. Bye.